Hey guys, what's up? This is Lightning Bliss. I am doing something a little different this time around with my speed drawings, as I feel like having just speed drawings with music in the background is not very entertaining. So with this episode, I'm going to be sharing some stories about my brony adventures. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and help me out with my channel because every little bit helps. Thanks so much, and I will get right to it. This is an unscripted story, and I am going to talk about the times where it was one of my best fans and one of my worstest fans. Obviously, I'm going to keep everything anonymous, so there will be no names listed. I'm just going to get off with the good fan story. So this was around, I believe, 2016, or it was 2015, I believe. It was my first pony convention outside of my home state of Texas. I have never ever flown outside of Texas before in a very long time, and being the nervous person that I am, I was very apprehensive about wanting to go, but I had some really good friends like Dr. Wolf encouraging me to go out there along with a few other friends. So I fly out there, it's Pacific PonyCon, and I was offered a table with Josh Scorcher, Silver Quill, and Dr. Wolf to sell what few prints I had at the time. Officially, this was my first time actually selling something at a table. Now getting onto the good fan here, a mother and daughter pairing came up to my table and asked about if we were who we were, including me asking, "Are you Lightning Bliss?" And I go, "Oh, yes, I am." And the little girl, I could tell she had some special needs going on about her. It was very clear because her mother was whispering her how to address herself and how to carry herself from the looks of it, and that was fine. The little girl asked if she could please get a picture with me, and I said, absolutely. This was the first time a fan actually wanted to take a picture with me, and they were really super excited, so I was very happy to oblige. As soon as I get up and approach, unfortunately, without warning, the little girl kind of glomped me, like really hard, like just tackle hugged me really hard around the waist. And the mother, of course, panicked a bit and said, "Oh, honey, no. You're not supposed to hug them without your permission. You have to ask people before you hug them." And thankfully, though, I didn't sense any malice towards the little girl. I could tell that, again, she had some special needs and she just simply couldn't control her excitement. So I let it slide and said, "It's okay." And I gave her a hug back, and she was just so happy to receive this hug. And the mother, I could tell, seemed very, very emotional about this, but we would tackle that in a second. So we take the picture, I autograph a few pictures that she bought for my table, and she was just super excited to talk to me and say hi. And then I kind of redirected her attention to that Josh Scorcher, Dr. Wolf, and Silver Quill were also at the table, and she was also huge fans of them. So needless to say, her excitement doubled by 10, and she immediately hopped off to go and talk to them while her mother was watching. It was then that the mother leans in towards me, half in tears, saying, "Thank you so much for being here." And I'm saying, "Oh, it's no trouble at all." And she's like, "No, you don't understand. This is the first time in months I have actually seen my daughter actively try to talk and interact with other people in public." And I'm like, "Oh, this is not normal for her." Her mom was exchanged that she has these very special needs. She's, I guess she was on the spectrum of extremely autistic, and she really struggled with social interactions. So for her to see her daughter shying away from being very shy around strangers to being openly happy to see people and talk to them, it was a very joyful thing for her to see. And I can't help but feel like this was probably one of the best fan interactions I've ever had. And now we're moving on to the bad fan story. Now, like in the good fan story, yeah, you're not really supposed to hug people without their permission, whether it's at a convention or not. Always ask permission to hug someone before you just up and steal it, guys. So I was willing to push that one situation aside because it was a young girl and she had really special needs. The mother was very apologetic about it, and it was very harmless. But when it comes to adults, well, that's another story. And well, for this particular Bat fan, he went way too far. So this story takes place during 2017 BabsCon. It is my first time at BabsCon. I was not a community guest. I was not a vendor. I was just a regular attendee, just trying to experience the con as a regular member for the first time. And once again, I am a very shy person, so it was kind of hard for me to walk around the convention without getting stopped by fans who wanted to talk to me and sign things and ask how come I wasn't in the community guest list, when of course I never signed up to be a community guest and had to explain that to them. I was just being a regular attendee. Anyways, as I'm following my friends around, just enjoying the panels and talking to fans and talking to people, meeting new people and checking out the vendor table, there was this one particular fan that every other hour it felt like he stopped us, me and my friends in particular, for us to answer all his questions, and it never seemed to end. He always seemed to have one question after the other, and you know, it's okay to ask questions. There's no problem with that. But when you start to make a stop to the point where we can't even enjoy the con anymore because you're basically taking up all our time with your questions, it kind of gets a little irritable. So it got to a point where I'm trying to walk around and enjoy myself, and this fan kept being literally just feet behind me, and I would calmly ask them, could you please give me some space? They said they would, and then they would continue to repeat this behavior. They would not give me space. They just kept following me around from a distance, having a very awkward look to them, like they would try to make eye contact and then dart away as if I didn't know they were there, and I knew very well they were there. Then it got to a point where a situation came up during the con, and I had to calm some of my friends down, and we were trying to discuss dinner plans when the same fan came up, and he was literally a foot away from me while I'm trying to talk to my friend and basically discuss our dinner plans. By this point, my patience had run out. I had asked this person repeatedly to please give me some space, and repeatedly they have not complied. Professionalism out the window. I turned to the person and said, back up. Firmly. I firmly told them to back up. They said, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no. I've asked you repeatedly to give me space, and you have not. Back up, leave me alone. And they said, okay. What do they do after saying this? They take a step back, and they continue to watch me as if I didn't see them, even though they literally took one step back away from me. By this point, I was so angry. Clearly, this person was not respecting personal space or words for that matter, and I ended up having to walk away from the situation and hide behind my friends. Now, you know the situation is bad when I'm starting to hide from fans. Anyways, after that day, it was the last day of the convention, and I honestly was happy to say I did not see this fan for many hours and was able to enjoy closing ceremonies for BabsCon. After I left, there was a mom with 3 young girls with her, and they had to have been under the age of 10 years old, I believe. They were super excited to see me, but they were also very nervous, and they waited till the last day to talk to me because they were just too nervous to come up to me. And that's understandable. I mean, I'm nervous to go up to people I idolize or I think are really cool, but you know what I mean. So anyway, these girls finally mustered the courage to speak to me, and I was answering their questions and signing the artwork they wanted me to sign, and they were just super happy to be talking to me, and right out of the blue comes the entitled fan. Excuse me, Lightning Bliss, I need to talk to you, it's important. Now, he cut off these girls while they were in mid-sentence. They were asking me a question and he cut them off. I was livid. The mother was speechless. She didn't even know what to do. The little girls seemed taken aback and they had this look of, did we do something wrong? Why did this strange man cut us off? I turned on the entitled fan and said, absolutely not. These girls were talking to me first. You can step back and wait. He's like, I understand, but this is really No, you need to back away immediately. They were talking to me first. The entitled fan reluctantly walks away, and I immediately apologize to the mother and the girls and explain to them normally I do not get this blunt in public. I certainly do not like talking to people this way. It's very, very upsetting when I have to get to that point for me. And the mother was like, no, it's totally fine. We totally understand, and we thank you for backing us up. And I'm like, oh no, you guys were here first, and they were talking. Some people can be a little inconsiderate. So the girls went on with their questions. I continue answering, and I gave them a hug. I think we took a picture. That was the end of that, and I wished them safe travels, and they did the same to me, and that was the end of that. I was done. I wanted to go find my friends, spend the last day together with them, and maybe get some lunch because I was hungry by then. When, Lord behold, here comes the entitled fan. He approached me after the girls had left. He had been waiting for his moment, and he stops me. Lightning Bliss, is it okay I could talk to you now? I said, I suppose you can. What is it, sir? I just wanted to say I am sorry for the way I've been acting, and I wish you the best of travels. He extends his hand out for me to shake it. I smile, thinking that, well, okay, he's apologizing for his behavior. Okay, I guess he learned his lesson. I extend my hand and shake it back. Suddenly, he grips my hand really, really tight and jerks me forward into his face, saying, I just wanted to be your friend and get to know you more, and I don't understand why I kept being pushed away. And he blew up in my face, and he was squeezing my hand super tight. I jerked my hand out of his grip and had to take all the energy I had to not blow up and get angry in public, because there were a lot of people around us. So what ended up happening is I put my hands together trying to find my center or something, I guess you could call it meditation. And then I said, sir, I understand you wanted to be my friend. I understand that you are also sorry for your behavior, but the way you are acting right now is very inappropriate and uncomfortable. Do you understand what I'm saying? And he's like, I think so. And I'm like, friendships cannot be forced. And what you were doing to me and my friends the entire convention was highly inappropriate. When someone tells you to back away or give them space, you need to respect it. Otherwise, con security is gonna have to get involved. Do you understand the severity of what you are doing? And he's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, okay, I accept your apology. Please leave me alone for the rest of the day. So that is the story of the good fan and the bad fan, folks. There are some things you need to take with a grain of salt, but at the same time, when you are seeing people that you like or admire, there are just certain behaviors you should not do, including stealing hugs, grabbing them by the hand and forcing them to your face. Oh, and also ignoring them when they say, please give me some space. That's just a no-no. So guys, I hope you enjoyed these personal stories. If you guys like what I'm doing, feel free to comment in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. If you want me to do more stories like these, I certainly do have more stories to share. Obviously, this is unscripted. If y'all feel like I need to script these better, I will gladly do so. If you guys don't think this is a good idea, again, please let me know. I am trying something new. Until then, guys, keep an eye out for those rainbows. They will make you smile.